Don't take offense, your battlefield is looking a little sparse. The sci-fi world isn't all puppy dogs and rainbows, and the bad guys need to be kept at bay. With little more than some dollar store foam, grandma's favorite cheat code, and a slight amount of damage to the old nicotine receptors, these chain link fences can be made quickly and with minimal cost. Let's get into it. First things first, grab a piece of dollar store foam board and cut as many 2" by 4" rectangles as fences needed. Cut the corner off of each rectangle to make fat hexagons so that the center line is 4 inches across and the sides are 2 inches. This will give the base the ability to create a right angle. Peel the paper off of one side of each base like a banana. Next, use a file, emery board, or dried shark skin to taper the edges of each base. Then cut a line down the middle of each base, making sure not to cut all the way through. On an unrelated note, top-sliced hot dog buns are terrible, and reason number 258 not to visit New England behind the silly accents and their odd affinity for eating sea scorpions. Grab some cross-stitching mesh and some matte black spray primer. Take this as your weekly opportunity to go outside and coat the mesh on both sides. Cut the mesh diagonally across the squares into, once again, 2" by 4" rectangles. Just for reference, this stuff is referred to as granny grating and is a fantastic material to have on hand to either make stuff or distract your grandma when you've run out of Werther's Originals. Grab the glue gun you still haven't cleaned and glue the granny grating into the slice you made earlier and close the base around it to seal everything in. Take the kebab sticks from dinner and coat them in Apple Barrel's black paint before setting them aside to dry. Find the halfway point between milk and cheese and some cheap glue. Mix it with water before realizing someone filled your sour cream with construction sand and cover the base of each fence in both. Hope no one will notice that you almost skipped this step and prematurely painted one of these bases. Once dry, take the tried and true mixture of Mod Podge and black paint and cover all of the bases. Make sure not to lay it on too thick like my quote-unquote humor to retain the detail of the sand. Now to let you play the part of Biz Marquee because I got what you need. Oh baby, glue the post to the thing. And you say it's just a fence. And you say it's just a fence. Okay, I'm done. Using a mixture of Apple Barrel's burnt umber and water, cover each base once again. Then dry brush with Apple Barrel's light mocha. Do this by dipping the brush and wiping most of the paint off and brushing the base lightly to highlight the raised details. Now it's Tom Sawyer time. With Folk Art's Gunmetal Gray, brush all the metal parts of the fence. The black base coat helps the silver color to stand out and apply even coverage. For a little variation in color, use Folk Art's Antique Copper and brush random spots to give the fence an old and rusted look. Then find a brush that snuck its way on set and an excessive amount of jelly beans and some sprinkles. Mix up some more glue. Open up the clump foliage and the painted sawdust. Sparsely brush the base with glue and sprinkle on the fake grass. For the clump foliage, use a thicker and heavier glue. The foliage is just a car sponge that's been torn up and dyed with green paint. Lastly, if there's no reasonable adult around to tell you no, use a hot soldering iron or wood-burning tool to melt holes in the fence. Only do this in a well-ventilated area and wear a mask because those fumes are slightly less gross than the springtime air in San Francisco. I hope when I said your battlefield was sparse, you didn't get defensive. These little fences are quick and easy to make, whereas granny grating is extremely versatile and affordable and is a staple when it comes to creating DIY terrain. Fences can fit into any modern sci-fi or post-apocalyptic setting and can do wonders to fill a battlefield, whether it be blocking movement, obscuring line of sight, or just providing aesthetic flavor. Have a good one.